Hi friends, welcome to my humble homestead and garden side chat. Today I am going to go over the herbs and we are going to do my herbal pain capsule. Why they help for inflammation and pain and the relaxing and sedative components that some of them have as well. Many of these herbs I also use in some of my other remedies for anxieties, different things. But right now we're just going to focus on the pain and the inflammation. So that is what I'm going to discuss with these herbs that I put in this pain capsule. Yes, I know it is early June, but I'm cold. I don't know why I'm cold. It's like 85 degrees outside, and I grabbed a sweatshirt. I turned my air down, way down, like to the point where it's off. I think I'm just really tired. It's been super busy at work this week, like insane. And I was just, I don't know. I'm cold. So don't mind this. It's not fall. I know it looks like it's fall, but it's not. So anyway, let's go over. So the first one that we're adding into this is feverfew. Feverfew, while some people grow feverfew as an ornamental flower, it's beautiful. It's aesthetically pleasing. This plant is far more commonly used in traditional medicine and herbal therapies. Parthenolide is the active ingredient that receives the most attention, but feverfew also contains a variety of oils and tannins that also have effect on our human health. The oldest and most commonly praised benefit of feverfew is its clear effect on headaches. This is probably the biggest reason why I take it, the number one reason why I take it, and the most helpful that I have actually found. Interestingly enough, years ago when I would be in the hospital, they would even tell me, have you tried feverfew? So it's been studied for a very long time for migraines and headaches. Definitely has clear benefits on migraines and headaches. And one of the active ingredients in it is prevention of platelet buildup in capillaries and blood vessels. That is what causes tension in the cardiovascular system that causes headaches and migraines. By relieving and relaxing those vessels, feverfew can quickly eliminate these painful conditions. So it kind of does act like a vasodilator. Some of the volatile components in feverfew have anti-inflammatory abilities, which effectively reduce inflammation throughout the body. For those who suffer with chronic joint pain, arthritis, gout, other inflammatory conditions. There are just so many. Top to bottom, that's a huge benefit for me as well. Herbal treatments with feverfew is a painless and effective solution. For thousands of years, feverfew has been used to prevent pain all throughout the body, not just the pain of headaches and migraines. Following surgeries and injuries, it can be successfully utilized for rapid and long-lasting relief. And another study that I found shows that it's actually really good in preventing migraines before they come on. So if you take like just 1 to 3 of the leaves and you eat them every day, it actually can prevent the migraines. So that's something that I am going to start doing once I do have these. So these are the ones that I'm making today. They're not ones that I take every day because they have some other things in them that I wouldn't take every day. This is more of when I actually have a headache. Like if I were to reach for an ibuprofen or something, which I don't do anymore, I would take a couple of these. So this is what I'm making. These are my pain pills, which are actually all herbal, but they do have some things in there that really do release pain. Now, for preventative, yes, I'm going to take a couple of feverfew leaves a day. There are like I'm having chamomile tea or, something like that. Those are things that could be on the daily, but this taking this is just taking it if I need a little aid, which I will show you how I make them after I'm done going through the herbs of what I'm putting in them. So the next one is catnip. So catnip, also known as cat mint, is in the mint family. Catnip has proven to be very effective against headaches. And catnip, we always think of catnip as kind of making cats all excited and wild. So, but in humans and dogs, it actually has the opposite effect where it's more of a sedative and a relaxant. It has been very effective in headaches and even chronic migraines. So you could also, aside from ingesting it, you can also rubbing it as essential oil on the affected area. You can drinking it as a tea. You can rubbing a leaf salve. You can make a salve on the temples, and that can also offer quick relief. There are different ways that you can use these herbs other than just doing the capsule as well. The chemical constituents of catnip are effective as anti-inflammatory agents. This means that it can be effective against arthritis, gout, sprained muscles, achy joints, and even hemorrhoids. Topical application or normal consumption of the leaves, juice, or tea can be effective for all of the above situations. So you can get it in any way you want. So, and I do need to plant a new catnip because when I went out to weed my herb and flower garden, my catnip is dead. It's not growing again. So I need to plant some more of that. So I do have some dried that I'm using, but I like to have all the stuff fresh too. I can make a tea, or sometimes I'm outside, and especially with the feverfew, I'll just grab a cup. And now let me tell you, the feverfew is bitter. It is not delicious. It literally, like when you munch, it's not, I can get it in. It's not like horrifying, but it's bitter. It's actually like eating a mild aspirin. That's kind of what it tastes like. I do it, it does help. Literally, if I have a little tinge of a headache and I'm outside, sometimes if I'm in the heat or if I'm working, I'll just chomp down a feverfew or two flower, and it helps. It really does. It'll relieve that headache for me. The next one we're going to go on to is valerian root. So valerian root's medical usage date back to ancient Greece and Rome. Early on, people treated migraines, tension headaches, tiredness, stomach cramps, and insomnia with valerian. Currently, people primarily take it to help address insomnia. Valerian's more of a real relaxant. I made a deep sleep tincture that had valerian and chamomile in it. I would always use it for insomnia, but it does have a very calming and relaxing effect that does help with pain. Because, with pain, a lot of times there's tension involved in it as well. It would address insomnia. It also addresses anxiety and PMS. Valerian's good for PMS, menopause, depression, headache. Valerian root, it does impact the body in many different ways. The iridoids found in valerian act as the anti-inflammatory. So it's amazing how many of the herbs have anti-inflammatory properties in them. People don't realize how much inflammation we just have in our body and what that does to us. So really working and getting the inflammation under control makes such a huge difference. The next one is wild lettuce. So for centuries, wild lettuce is a plant that has been used for pain relief and to induce sleep. It contains lactocin and lactocopricin, which act on the central nervous system to produce analgesic and sedative effects. Wild lettuce can reduce muscle and joint, post-surgical pain, and painful menstruation. And it also can soothe irritable cough. Years ago, it was used for whooping cough, actually, because it can relax the respiratory system. It has those nice relaxing where it just calms everything down, the sedative effects. So wild lettuce, that's the why I'm putting it in there. Holy basil. So don't mistake holy basil as basil that we cook with. This is holy basil. And it's a plant that is native to India. And it's commonly used in traditional Indian medicine. Chemicals in holy basil are thought to decrease pain and swelling, inflammation again, without all the side effects of the drugs. So holy basil is a good one to add in there for that inflammation and just decreasing the pain in our bodies. White willow bark. You will see me trying to put the white willow bark in there because it didn't grind up very well. So that'll, little spoiler alert, that was a difficult one to get in there. That one I might add in more in a tea or something, or a elixir or something, because that one was hard to grind up, but it has benefits, so I stuck it in there. White willow bark has been also used for centuries as a natural remedy for inflammation and pain. Shocker! That's kind of the reason why I put all of these in here, is for the inflammation and pain benefits. The bark of the willow contains salicin, which is the chemical like aspirin. It's kind of what derived from aspirin, the building block. It's kind of the building block of aspirin, salicin was. And in combination with the herb's powerful anti-inflammatory plant components called flavonoids, salicin is thought to be responsible for the pain relieving and anti-inflammatory effects of the herb. Willow bark can also be used to relieve menstrual cramps, bring down a fever. The salicin inside willow bark works the same way as aspirin by reducing that inflammation and pain as it enters your bloodstream. Because of the anti-inflammatory properties of willow bark, it may also be very effective in combating joint pain. So the one thing about willow bark is you wouldn't, because it does kind of act a little bit like aspirin, you wouldn't want to take that in high doses. And you'll see, I didn't put a lot. I mean, these are little capsules that we're taking, but that's just, one thing when I studied is you wouldn't want to take gobs and gobs of it. But I think in everything you do it in moderation, and with herbs and stuff, you're having a tea or you're having a tincture. You're not taking boogles and boogles of them. The other thing that I do know is feverfew. You don't want to take that if you're pregnant or nursing. That's the only other, because I think it does have the vasodilators in there. So that's another one. And with everything, you want to research it, research it for yourself. If you are on medications or things like that, make sure you check into things. I do take medications, but I see my doctor, but I do let them know that I'm into herbalism and I grow my own herbs and this is what I do. So, I do make sure that I'm safe with them. Do your research with it. So that's kind of important. And the last one that I put in here is Jasmani, which is also known as spikenard. This one is also from India. Now, the funny thing is you're going to see my reaction when I opened it, because I didn't expect it to look like that. It's very interesting the way it looks. It's an interesting one. You guys should look it up. It is kind of known as Indian valerian. So it has great sedative powers, but it does have a lot of different benefits in it. India has a lot of great herbs. This one helps combat like tension related pain. So yeah, it does have that relaxation in it. And since chronic pain is often a combination of inflammation and tension, I think it's very beneficial to combine the different herbs. So you're kind of hitting different areas. That's why I'm using the different herbs together to try to combat the different pain and inflammation. So these are the herbs that I am putting in my pain capsules. And so now I will show you how I put those together. All right, stay tuned. I have decided to move on to my regular herbal pain pills. I put on an apron because look at my hands are super yellow from the turmeric. When you guys do these, if you don't want your hands to get yellow, you might want to wear gloves. I know it's funny. I don't mind, because I don't mind the stuff getting absorbed in my skin. I'm going to do these capsules that are for pain. I get a lot of headaches. I'm going to do 2 parts to 1 part, and 2 part with a feverfew. Feverfew is great anti-inflammatory. It is a great overall pain medication for many, many things. Now, also that I have my new capsulate, I can make 100 of these at a time. What's in them is not so bad. So if I do feel like a little headache at night, instead of reaching for a Tylenol, I'll definitely reach for this. And that's the real goal, is I don't want to take ibuprofen anymore. I don't want to take Tylenol. These are the things. I want to take the natural things. I'd much rather do this. I put 3 tablespoons of Feverfew in here. These I'm going to whiz up because I want to powder it. And I just have a specific coffee grinder that I use just for my herbs. So there's the Feverfew. Next, I put valerian root, but I'm going to do that last because I really do not like the smell of valerian root. Then I use catnip. Catnip, now it does make cats hyper, as you know, but in humans and dogs, it's a sedative. You can also use chamomile, which is a great sedative as well. So I am going to use 1 tablespoon of the chamomile and 1 tablespoon of the catnip. And I heard if you plant Feverfew around your different gardens that bunnies and mice and things like that don't like the smell of Feverfew because it's so bitter. So I'm going to plant some Feverfew in my main garden as well. All right. This is nice and powdered up. That actually smells really good. So I'm also going to use some holy basil. Holy basil, it is great also as an anti-inflammatory. It is a good memory and stress reducer. It is really good for memory, and it can help combat things like dementia and things like that. So holy basil is a good one to grow if you like. So I'm going to whiz this one up. And the other one I'm going to put in here, so white willow bark. This is the building block that they use for aspirin that's found in willow bark. So it's good for headaches, muscle pain, and low back pain, which I was having some problems with that as well. I am just going to put about 1.5 tablespoons of that in there as well. Then I will blend these up. I don't know if it's going to go much finer than that. That's as fine as the white willow bark will go. Then what do we have over here? Jasmani, which is the Indian herb. And jasmani is also a good sedative. I don't even have this one open yet. It's one I will certainly put in my anti-anxiety one. It is really good as a relaxant, for anti-stress. Ooh, this is really weird looking, you guys. It's kind of scary looking. Wow, look at this. It kind of freaked me out when I opened it. It's jasmani root. But when I opened it, it almost looked like there were like dead mice in there. I have to show you. I was like, ah! So I am just going to put maybe a couple of these in there. Okay, that's almost like weird. It's pure. It's the Indian root. Yeah. It aids in sleep. It has antibacterial. It's good for chronic fatigue syndrome, chronic pain. All right, I'm scared. Let's see what it looks like. It smells like Indian incense. Oh my gosh, it powdered up really good. That one really powdered up. Okay, I feel good about that. I was really worried about it, you guys. Look at that, powdered up super well. It actually smells like when you go into an incense shop. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, all right. I was really scared when I opened that. I had not opened or seen that one before, but I read a lot of really good things about it. Okay, I got 2 more. One is wild lettuce, which I am growing, and that is they've been doing a lot of studies on wild lettuce for pain, for anxiety. It's got some really good really good sedative actions. Now, I'm not going to do a lot of it because I don't want to, I have a lot of sedative things in here. So I'll do 1 tablespoon in there. And then the valerian root, which is also a sedative. So that one I'll just do 1 tablespoon. And I just cannot stand the smell of valerian root. But I know it is so good for you. And these are also ones that I'm going to put in the anti-anxiety and de-stressors and good sleeping ones. I might take one of these tonight just because I'm a little sore in my back and I want to see how it helps me sleep. I just want to make sure, I do not like the smell of valerian root. Woo, woo. It has a smell to it. I don't know if you guys know what I mean, but smell some valerian root. But if you guys really struggle with pain, I mean, wild lettuce is really one I would try. I would try to grow it and just maybe you could even throw a little bit in your salad. Okay, that is not a cute smell. All right, let's mix up our mixture here, and then we're gonna go over to our. I don't know that I like that willow bark in there because it's really thick. I haven't added that into my pain tabs. I had added that into some of my mom's before for her stuff. But all right, we're gonna go over and fill these up. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill up the pain tabs here. Mix it up really good. So we have so much stuff in here. And you know what? If I made too much, it's okay. I'll put it in a Ziploc and keep it, make another dose of the next one. I already pre-filled the bottom halves of these since I showed you in the turmeric tab. Yeah, I'm not sure about this white willow bark one in here. I might have to really work this in. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that white willow bark in these anymore. Not a fan. We will find another way to use that. A tea or a tincture. If you guys have ever used these willow barks or anything, let me know how you use it. Or maybe like a maximum grinder or something. We'll see what happens when we temper it. Go like this. There we go. Like that. Now let's see. Aha. Yes, I'm so glad I did that valerian root last, because the smell I am not a fan at all. Not all things that are good for us are delicious. All right, I think that's as much as we are going to get in those. That is how we have that. Let's see how this goes again. Like that. Now we're going to put our little tops in here upright. Shake them in. Okay, I think I'm just about done with this. And here we are. There's the final product. Nice. So here's these, and here's the turmeric tabs. So we've got 100 of these each. So next I'll be doing some anti-anxiety. I'll be doing some allergy ones. Got a whole list over there that I'm gonna do. But for now,